First impressions count, so make sure they matter. Hi, this is Moon Pies again with another installment of the How to Make Money on YouTube series, Tube Tuesday. Thank you for checking out this series. I hope it's helping you. It's definitely helping me along the way, as you're going to see later on in this lesson, something I've learned even while coming up with this lesson, something that I was doing wrong the past few weeks. This week's lesson is going to be all about titling your videos, which may seem like the most elementary things of all, but it's also one of the most important things of all. After all, look up, that's the title. People rely on your titles for many things. A lot of times they're going to go with a nice happy thumbnail graphic. If that you have that going for you, great. But more often than not, what you title your video is more important than you probably think. Let's go over 5 tips that I have that I think will make your titles better. First, you have up to 100 characters to use up there. If you can, and if it doesn't become too cumbersome, use as much as you can. 100 characters, that's 10, 12, 15 words. You probably don't want to go that far, but keep in mind one important thing. There's such a thing as called keywords. Now, keywords are the heart of what every search engine bases off. You put in, people bid on keywords. Advertisers bid on these words. And just as on a regular SEO, search engine optimization, the title of a web page is more important than the content before it, as far as ranking on websites where they rank on Google and Yahoo and all the other search engines and Bing and stuff. The same thing applies to YouTube. The title is more important than the description. So you want to put as many rich keywords of what people would be searching for in your title, if you can. It will make a difference. The title may seem a little funky sometimes, and that's why people don't do that. They ignore that. But that's a great place to optimize your videos, by creating a title that has a lot of the rich keywords that people will be searching for. Number 2, put the good stuff early. And here's where I get to the lesson of what I was doing wrong the past few weeks. About a month or 2 ago, I decided to make this video every Tuesday, and I went with the Tube Tuesday moniker. So the last few videos, I slapped Tube Tuesday, dash, and whatever the lesson's going to be. I'm going to go back after this video and erase all the Tube Tuesdays. This is still going to be Tube Tuesday, but when people see Tube Tuesday, 99.9999% of the YouTube audience has no idea what that means. And those of you that do, probably already my subscribers, so you're getting these videos anyway. I'm not going to bring in new people with the words Tube Tuesday at the beginning of these Tuesday videos. I think I have a better chance of drawing more people into these videos by putting exactly the lesson that I'm going to be covering that week right up front, right at the very beginning. And I suggest you do the same with whatever videos you are. If you have a show or something like that, you may be a little tricky. You don't want to put necessarily the episode name before a show if you're doing some kind of series like that. But you definitely, if you want to be searched by new traffic, not just appeal to your current subscriber core, you definitely want to make your titles as fresh as possible by putting the good stuff at the very beginning, the stuff that people are most likely to search for the most. No one's going to search for Tube Tuesday, but some people may search on titling tips. Tip number 3, follow the leader. Don't copy the leader, but follow the leader. Find whoever the most prolific YouTube uploader is in whatever type of videos you're making, whether it's skateboarding videos or Mexican hat dance. Who am I to judge? Find the persons or the groups that are putting out, the channels that are putting out the most popular videos in your niche. And most of the channel pages, on the top right, you can click on their uploads, and then once you get their uploads, there's an option to search for the most viewed, or the latest or the most viewed. Click on the most viewed and see which videos of theirs have been viewed the most. Then analyze the titles. What are they using to title their videos? You don't want to copy their title word for word, because you're never going to rank higher than they would on that exact kind of term. But think of something that may be related if it applies to your videos, because a lot of times after their videos, when YouTube goes through their algorithms to come up with related videos, yours may come up if it's similarly titled. Tip number 4, and I've offered this, titles change. And I've made the suggestion for annotations last week, descriptions, just about everything on YouTube. Nothing is static. Nothing is set in stone. The only thing that's set in stone that you can't change without taking your video down and destroying all the views you have built up to it, all the goodwill and all the favorites and all that, is the video itself, the content. But you can annotate, you can change descriptions, change tags, and I recommend you do all these things as often as you can, because things change. People's search patterns change. A video title can change, even though the content remains the same. And if it's relevant, if you can try to wedge your way into something that's relevant search-wise, and it's still, people are not going to feel cheated by checking out your video 4 or 5 years from now rather than they do now, go ahead and change the title of your video. There's nothing wrong with revisiting your video, and you could change your video every week if you want, until you find a title that resonates and sticks and gets the views. And then stick with it until, you know, it becomes stale and it's time to change the title again. The final step, number 5, final tip, if you can, if it's relevant, use numbered lists. Now, in the real world, outside of this cramped little den office place here where I film these videos, I'm a writer for an internet company, and I've been at it since the 1990s. And one thing I know for a fact is when you have a numbered list headline, and I'm talking like my two most popular videos, the two videos that I've had that have more than 700,000 views apiece, is 5 ways to make money on YouTube now, which is now up to almost 800,000 views. It should be up there probably in a few days. It should crack the 800,000 mark. And, whoa, I guess a little fly or something. And the other video is 3 ways to bowling in an hour. I forget what it was called. It's been a few years ago, but either way, the numbered thing works. People like to see numbers. You see Break.com, they love to put the 5 biggest fails of 5 pranks, and they love to put these things out there, these nice little round numbered lists, and they put them out there. If it applies to you, if there's any way that you can do it, any way that you can frame a video, no matter what you're doing, you can probably find, and I'm not talking about just general blogging, talking stuff. Usually there's stuff out there. If you're making cheat games or cheat codes or anything, or walkthroughs for games, you can frame things within a context of a number. And if I can offer a psychological tip, something that has been told to me, and I've verified, I have no proof for this, but I know for a fact because every time I do it, it works better as far as getting more views for the articles I'm writing than I don't. Try to use an odd number. I find that numbers 3 and 5 and even 7 are better than 2, 4, and 6. This doesn't mean that you slice off an extra whatever you have in your video to bring it down, or add fluff to bring it up to an odd number. I had the 6 ways to increase your video views video, and I didn't want to sacrifice that. I didn't want to take out one of the tips because it would bring it down to 5, and I couldn't think of a 7th one. So if you're stuck on an even number, go for it. But if you can find a way, go with an odd number when you're numbering your list. And of course, if you can put it at the very beginning, 3 whatever, 5 whatever, 7 whatever, you see people that will look at your video and they go, hey, look, I'm going to get more out of this video than I will out of some nondescript video. I'm going to get value in here. And I think that's what's important with a lot of people when they title their videos. They forget that you have to create value for your viewer, even on a free site like YouTube. So that's it. And obviously this tip, the very title of this video, you'll see will start with a number 5 on it. I'll be back next week with another multi-tipped tip under the YouTube series. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.